And yes, we are live. We are live. Okay. Now let me prepare for the recording. Okay, everything ready for the recording. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Non-Intuitive Bit podcast, brought to you by the Leaders Club that you're also part of if you're listening to us, but do consider elevating your club membership status by joining the Discord channel. We do have Discord channel. It will be available by the link in the show notes or under this video if you're listening to us live. And today in this virtual studio with me, here is Dmitry Mananikov. Say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, verbatim, exactly. And the second annoying voice that you're hearing right now is from Slava Kabalevsky. Okay, we have tons of the topics, and looks like the first good half we probably will be covering different LLM news that you brought up mostly, and then I will tell you about some of my interesting pre-order that I made. But first things first, let's start with your local LLMs that it looks like you're experimenting with.
Yeah, I'm still in search of something that I can run locally as an alternative to Chat GPT.
Mm-hmm.
And Ollama Web UI seems to be very good fit. Essentially, it's like similar to Chat GPT interface. The only difference, you can select one of models you already downloaded. It works with Ollama, so you run it as a separate Docker container, and it connects to Ollama, and then you have just Web UI. You still need to download models, but Ollama allows you to download multiple models by one liner. So it's pretty fine. I still need to experiment and to see, can I live with this? It actually ran well for simple requests. Some things, like a Wikipedia type information. How much is this? What is that? Llama 2 model works pretty fast. In 10 seconds, you can give reasonable response. Mixtral gives really good results, but it's minute of response. So it's not very... not very fast. But I think it's a good alternative, and I like that people make these things, because before it was a CLI interface, not very usable, and now it's just clone of ChatGPT.
Yeah, my biggest challenge with this, I was trying to make a back of the envelope calculation with one friend of mine, how much we will need to invest to have a good enough model that locally deployed, and how much we have to invest in a sense of how costly configure the desktop we have to, server we have to buy. Mm-hmm. And honestly, we decided not to, because I still yet to find model that would perform on the level that would be interesting to me, interesting in the sense that I actually can replace GPT. And we will need at least 2 GPUs, 2 4090 GPUs to have.
I don't think it's a replacement of ChatGPT, especially considering that ChatGPT now can go to internet, they update it faster. I think it's more like addition, backup plan if ChatGPT is down or internet is down. Plus, these models are not censored, so they don't really cut on responses. You can ask them anything you want, and they give you answer without any hacks.
True. I mean, this is appealing. This is understandable. The thing is, until it's good enough, I still cannot cut my subscription. And
of course.
Since I cannot cut, what's the point?
Another one, actually, I have in the team, there's an application where you can run LLM on your iPhone. You need iPhone 15 because it has enough memory. I tried actually already, and it actually works reasonably okay. I mean, it runs on a phone, so it's not super smart, Think GPT 3.5. Again, you won't use it for complex data analysis or something, but as a Wikipedia style information works okay-ish. Again, for me, it's just a interesting direction that other people going, because I believe this is what Apple will do as well, because they promote privacy a lot, and that could be their feature, right? Like, okay, they make a custom devices, they can make custom models on iPhones. They already have this ML course. They can utilize it to have somehow okay LLM. I would say anything would be better than current Siri anyway.
Oh, yep. Or Google Android, or Google Assistant, so to speak. Yes, I'm really looking forward when they move to Bard. So yes, 100%. That makes sense. And obviously everything moving to on-prem, and I'm really looking forward when there will be models. To be fair, I just need to have good enough models for me to go all in on local. This is just a matter of time. And the moment will be good enough, I am okay to invest in the GPU config, even though GPUs cost a lot right now. But if you have a good enough model, you will not have to upgrade. Like you're buying whatever you're buying on the market and just using it.
Yeah, but in some way, you also need to update your model, right? Because at least with GPT, right, they retrain it every once in a while to get fresh info. So you would need to do the same. Model itself is not changing, only way it's changing, right?
Correct. Yeah. The only downside that sure your model might obsolete and no one will be retraining it, and all the new models will require bigger GPU. It is there, but even without the new data in the model, you still will have good enough model. Sure, for some of the use cases where maybe you need the knowledge, but to be fair, I do not need knowledge embedded in the model as much as I need model to be able to call APIs, because then it can do query, it can do search, it can do Google, and it can summarize.
So it can get like a new information. Okay, it makes sense. Oh, like a bit of topic, but have you seen how people do prompt injection from pages?
Prompt inject? No, I have not. Tell me what is it.
Essentially, you ask Chat GPT to summarize page of some website. And website look like some article about programming. And then there's a hidden text which rewrite prompt and make something else. I think someone show, I don't remember, was it Chat GPT or something, but the idea was they rewrite prompt and then they ask to generate Chat GPT, they ask to pass the image or something. So essentially they create a separate URL with a particular parameter where they embed user data. So essentially user data is leaking. I think it's really, really cool attack vectors right now.
You know, I have found the similar topic, related topic, but several research white papers, so to speak. And they all based on the idea of, I think it's called sleeping actors. Sleeping actors.
Oh, yes. I think I saw this one as well. When models see a particular word, they behave different, right?
Yeah, it's about finding how you can theoretically manipulate model in the way that you can inject particular actions for particular words in the long term. So you would be putting those prompts in the public area where the model will be training, and it should not behave unless it's correctly invoked. But then if you provoke user to invoke it in the right way, the model will do completely different shit.
Interesting.
This is actually becoming more and more dangerous or more relevant as we actually connecting models to different APIs. Because, I have a model that doing trading for me, so it can call, sell, and buy. So if that model is malicious, I have not gave the model opportunity to cash out or like change my bank account attached to that, but it can sell, buy, and I'm pretty sure more and more cases like this will emerge.
Another idea like that relates to local LLMs and others. So companies like Google, they're really famous for they're using our data, selling our data. Essentially, their business, right? Advertisement. And Gmail is the perfect use case, right? Really good email service, completely free, but we give them all our data. And it looks like with more competition in this field, could it be that we end up with LLMs that are free to use, but they use whatever you put there? Like they use data to sell you stuff, they use data to target things and so on.
Yeah, there is this use case that I think I shared it, so I apologize if I shared some in the past, but it's so exciting for me that I'm going to share it anyway. First of all, by the way, GPT just introduced Marketplace, and I promise it's relevant to the topic that you just started. So if you will go to GPT's Marketplace, you can find one of the My GPTs with Jessica, and just Google Jess, and Jessica has long-term memory. And as I mentioned already, so some time ago, long-term memory based on VectorDB, and I already have people that requested to me features that allow someone else to be asking question to your memory. So because memory in the VertexDB, it's not just facts about you. It's just literally some ideas that you're storing about, that the Jessica is storing about you. And you can actually be asking question to those memory about something that not necessarily even there, because you can think about this VectorDB as a snapshot of you. The more you're chatting with Jessica, the more thing it will build about you, and then you can be asking things that are not there, but based on the facts that are there, it will derive knowledge about you. And I have two feature requests. One, to have a power users effectively say, oh, my wife should be able to ask any question about me. And the second request where for some people, you actually only give them permission to ask predefined question. Like, for example, recommend the gift to this guy. And then it asks this specific predefined question to your memory and responds to the asking person. It
looks like very useful for business, like when in a business environment, people can delegate and can share. And this looks really, really promising.
True, and this is coming back to your idea that they will be storing data. In the classical Gmail account, you're storing data and then you're selling things like, do you want to know how many people of age blah and gender blah actually have bought blah? In this reality, you can say, I will sell you opportunity to ask one question to 500,000 people. And this question, do you want to have a new brush for your teeth? Or whatever you want to ask. One question and you will get 1 million answers.
Yeah, my concern is not that someone asking questions like in an anonymous way, right? The same is not my concern is not like Gmail, like analyze some mailbox. My concern is as usual, right? Like people who create these systems, sometimes they do proper jobs, sometimes it's not. Sometimes this data can leak. And the question I asked Chat GPT, I don't want them to leak it in the public.
But you have to define public. Yes, I understand that you don't want to leak it in the public, but let's give an example of this memory bank, right? Let's say I want to learn something about Hillary Clinton. Theoretically, if this service exists, I should be able to answer a question: does Hillary Clinton like blah, with a hope that some of the people actually knows her, and I will hit particular amount of memory banks that actually knows Hillary. Is it publicly leaking? No.
I see what you mean.
But I actually deriving private information.
Got it. Yeah. So how many users you already have in Jess?
Let me give you a specific answer, because Jess is actually not the most popular. One of the most popular is still My GPTs that has already thousands of users, is the one that redefined tweets on your behalf. So you effectively, if you have a tweet, and let me see if I can actually open it. I don't think it will work because you have a subscription and Firefox is not logged in. But the most frequently used is the one that you're giving your tweet, and it will rewrite your tweet in the way that increase engagements. That's so far the most popular one that I created, but the Jess is not that much popular. It's like hundreds of people tops.
How can I find Jess? I typed Jess in a search and it doesn't really find it.
Interesting.
For me, it gives like really they need to improve search, because instead of giving me GPT search by name of GPT, it looks like it's searched by authors.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. And by the way, for me, GPT store is not opening anymore.
Okay. Now I look for you and I see like 10 different GPTs.
Oh yeah, I have many of those. So yes. And ChatGPT stopped working for me in Safari. Like it doesn't work. I cannot. I'm sorry. Okay, I almost did it. Got it. The reason why it was not working for me is because I was using one of the new experimental feature. I will tell about this in a moment. Interesting. So looks like it's actually different, because when I type Jess, let me screenshot and I will show you what it shows to you. So this is what I see when I type Jess. And maybe because this is mine, so it's just prioritizing it for me. I wasn't sure how it looks like.
I have to type your name.
Got it.
I actually have users in my 2 GPTs, which is fine.
How many conversations do you have?
Oh, so it's bubble. Okay, 60 conversation, not that much.
That's decent. That's pretty decent. As you can imagine, majority has 0 or 1. Like that's a majority on the store. So yes, that's pretty decent. Some of the GPTs stopped working. So one of my most used GPT, which was not the Twitter one, the Twitter actually was working. I have a running habit architect, which allows you to build a plan how to build a habit of running. It was not working for quite some time. I don't know why, but looks like it's working now. I forgot where we started. Oh, yes, common memory. Yes. And by the way, very quick remark. We have Alexander saying unusual time for the podcast. Yes, we have a new time. Dmitry has a new boss, and that boss demanding a new schedule.
I'm pretty much can't decide my schedule anymore.
Hopefully soon. It's not forever. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, going back to the topics. My friend, do you have anything to add on this front about LLM?
No, but I will definitely try your GPTs.
Ooh, and send me yours as well. And we will add the links on our GPTs in the podcast description. So yes. So I want to say thank you for you, Dmitry, for giving a gift. So Dima gave me a gift, amazing gift, Unihertz.
Yes, I really would like to see, to know what you did.
So I started building the app that effectively Home Assistant. So I have an assistant in Telegram that's using Chat GPT plus tons of the APIs. So using this stuff to build effectively that. And another smart speaker that is using Chat GPT and connected to my home. So far, I created the part that's using a very low quality model to recognize particular keywords. So it understands hello name. And then it knows how to listen until you're speaking and recognize where you're speaking, where you're not, record that as an audio, and then send this to a proper model from OpenAI to do speech to text, full scale, and then effectively execute it with ChatGPT. So everything up to the whisper already done. I'm not yet have a properly functioning low memory footprint model. I've tried it, but for now using push to talk. You're clicking a button, you're talking, and
Actually, I have a acquaintance of mine who actually right now work on making a small local LLM to detect voice fast and can do voice to text.
Ooh,
so maybe I can ask him what he actually has.
Absolutely, please do connect us. I would love to learn more. Yep. But, by the way, for first things first, I forgot to mention to everyone who is not watching but listening, Unihertz. This is a gift that Dima gave to me on the New Year, and it's effectively a Raspberry Pi size computer, but it's proper computer. What I mean by that, it has a screen, a touch screen. It has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, it has a microphone. For some weird reason, it doesn't have a speaker, proper speaker, so I have to buy the speaker, but it would be ideal. It is as close to ideal device as possible. It is 1.5 or 2 gigahertz ARM. I think it has 2 core at least, probably more. It has, I think, 0.5 gigabyte of RAM and SD card slot, so you can pretty much put any size SD that you want. And
for me, the fact that it has touch screen was really, I think it's really killer feature, because the amount of applications you can do now, it's much better than with Raspberry Pi.
And to be fair, you kind of can buy with Raspberry Pi a touchscreen there, but
it's like a lot of work, and you still need a case. This one is, you can just like hold it as a thing.
Oh, and just 1 second, because it's, let me deattach it, because it's form factor like that, it has many cases. Let me just show, here's a case, for example, that I bought. You see, it already knows that there's a screen, and majority of Raspberry Pi cases, they not screen ready, so to speak, because they don't assume you have one.
So how much power it actually draw? Can you use batteries for that one, or you still need an adapter?
Oh yeah. It's literally from the USB-C. So normal USB-C from your laptop with a normal current will power it up. It will work. And another killer feature that even with Raspberry Pi, even if you do attach the screen, you need to find the framework that you will use to use it. Here you have SDK that are aware about all the hardware pieces and bits on this device. And you like, it has embedded Jupyter Lab. So you literally starting Jupyter Lab with tons of the example already, and you can play with the UI directly from the Jupyter notebook with the SDK that pre-installed, and then actually write the proper program later on. But from the education perspective, you can start as simple as like literally several clicks.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish I thought I can even show it right now for the listeners, but the moment I attach it to show it to you, it's actually switched off. So yeah, it will need a moment to power up. So I was doing these things, and the moment I was doing it, the Rabbit.Tech popped up. Have you heard about them, my friend?
Only from you, but you can explain what it is.
So everything that I just explained, imagine that someone have built it. So it's a box with a touch screen that effectively have a camera, touch screen, microphone, push to talk button, and it has what they called a large action model, which in reality, this is the first model that is not done by OpenAI. That's not just a chat model, but it can guarantee to you that it will correctly call your APIs. So for now, none of the open source that I'm aware of actually can guarantee this to you because it's not trained that way. Chat GPT and OpenAI is the only one that did it, not because there is secret sauce, just because they train it this way. And again, they call this version of the model large action model, which is just a fancy word of taking LLM and training it correctly in the way that will guarantee that any your APIs will be correctly called. The only unknown right now.
What is this thing on the right? Is it like a scroll?
Oh no, that's push to talk. It's this red one. Yeah, it's scroll. It's like scroll for some of the apps there. Yes. So the concept there is exactly why I'm using right now Telegram and planning to move to Unihertz. We are living in the world where you no longer need apps. You need APIs that your voice assistant or LLM has access to. That's all you need. Like after I, for example, move my sell, buy, another operation to LLM, I have no clue why should I open a website to do this procedure. I'm describing to LLM what I need to do. Jessica asked me some clarifications and then just do it. And this is how it should be. And this is what they did. The only unknown right now is it locally based model or it's actually in the cloud, because there is many signals that shows that it might be cloud based. And honestly, I just don't believe that they can have local model with $200. It either will not work.
How do you fit it in such small case as well?
To be fair, Unihertz has a 0.5 gigabyte, and there are models that can fit in 0.5 gigabyte. Yeah. And plus, NVIDIA has this Jetson, right? It was Jetson? Yeah, so here is, for example, another example where you have a CUDA-enabled hardware, but again, it's called
500.
Exactly, yes, 500. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't believe that they have local model. They probably have remote. Now, they have interesting idea. So they kind of have this new operating system that knows how to use API. Now, here is a challenge. For the key services like music and other stuff, they obviously have introduced integration. You can click and with one click and integrate something. Now, they had a challenge. How the normal user, not the developer like you and I, can actually attach completely random service to this model. Mm-hmm. And they came up with the craziest possible idea that I'm pretty sure people will use, but I'm not sure that either of us will. So the idea goes like that. They give you a virtual machine, VM in the cloud. I mean, they're not telling you this is a VM, but if you go on the web service, they open you literally a desktop.
Okay.
Inside of that desktop, you can install app. For example, Discord. You can log in with your credentials in that VM that's somewhere in the cloud they managed. Okay. And literally record what you do. You're clicking Discord, they show this as demo. You're clicking Discord, you go to particular community, you ask a question, you're getting the answer, and then that's it, you've done. And the model literally records actions, and the model will be able to reproduce it. Open Discord, open that particular click, do this, type the message. So the moment you did it, now you can go to this hardware in the box and say, can you type in the general chat of Discord server, blah, blah. And it will go on that VM because it has your credentials. We'll try to click the app, we'll try to type, we'll try to send the message. And all this while in this VM, your credentials somewhere that...
Well, besides security concerns, it feels like very fragile system. Like anyone who did, end-to-end testing with a browser, like Discord changed UI slightly and then everything broke.
This is true. But there is this interesting Opera interpreter project that I recently tried to play with. So they're effectively trying to do very similar things. They're trying to build a model that with this model term should be large action model, but instead of the OpenGPT route where actions you define, they actually using actions from the macOS. So you can say, change the theme to dark, and it knows that it has access to setting, it can click. The reason why I'm saying so, because you write about everything, but here is a catch. It's not your machine, it's a VM in the cloud. This means that they don't have to upgrade anything. The moment they register click in a particular window with ID, they have a luxury of not upgrading Discord, not upgrading OS. They know the system click that need to be happening, and that's it.
Yeah, I understand, but it feels like... I think maybe if they gain more popularity, companies like Discord will add integrations with them over time.
Yep, I hope so. And pretty much Discord was a weird example because really Discord already have an API and you already can implement proper integration already, kind of. But nevertheless, I can clearly see how people will be trying to teach it to do some other stuff. Okay, so that's the interesting thing. I looking forward. They, I think, will be sending this on the Easter. I have a doubt. I don't think it will have local model, and if they do have model on the cloud, I don't think it will be as good as OpenAI. So my Unihertz project probably will work better, but we'll see. We'll see. I have just one topic left on any AI and LLM field. Do you have anything to add, my friend? Otherwise, we can have this one topic and move.
No, I don't have anything on LLMs.
So OpenAI just have released the support of the companies. Actually, I don't know where is this blog, but the whole idea that now you can subscribe your workspace. And it's a similar concept. I cannot find the news, apologize, but I will have to describe it. So the whole idea that now you can have a workspace where you can be adding users. So you have a company, you can purchase a subscription for many users at the same time, share it with them, manage them, be adding them, be removing them. So it's more like for the companies. And first of all, it looks weird because first thing that you will notice that it costs $5 more than usual subscription. So you have $25 per seat per user. Only if you're paying per year and upfront, it will cost you exactly $20 as normal subscription. So the normal question, what the heck? But then you look at additional things, and they giving two things that are very important for me. One is higher throughput on GPT-4, so they don't have a cap as low as you would have a normal subscription, and this just costs you plus $5 comparing to normal subscription. And two, they actually will not train on your data because...
Yeah, that's exactly right. You get like a cheaper GPTs, but we will use your data.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The only thing why I'm still not there, I already have shit tons of load of custom GPTs, and there is no way to transfer them. And I either will have to pay both for enterprise and for my seat, or it is what it is. Okay, that's actually all I have on the LLM. Let's go to the games topic. We have two games related topic. Let me reshuffle them first from you, and then I will tell a little bit about the old game Control and new things that I found about it. But first, let's start with your topic, my friend. Little Company game. What is that?
That was exactly my question when I start seeing it everywhere in the media. Essentially, it's an indie game created like by small studio. It has extremely good like a stars ratings everywhere. Steam 10 of 10, like everywhere. But when you look at game, like when you look at any screenshot, it looks really shitty. The concept of game is simple. Up to 4 people, you work as workers. Your job is to collect some garbage from different locations, and you usually have 3 days to fill a quota. So every day you choose a planet or moon to land. You go there, you collect as much as you can, and before it's night, you need to go out. And the reason you need to go out, there are monsters. During the day, there are like less monsters, and closer to night and after dark is like more monsters. The good part about game, it uses local in-game chat, and it actually makes really nice job on separating your voices. For example, if one of the person killed, this person can hear other players, but they can't hear that person.
Okay.
People can talk with each other. And game generates so many stupid situations. That it's one of those games when you play with friends, it's like a lot of fun. It's very similar to watching some scary movie with friends. You know, like some scary movie, when you alone, you scare them. But when you sit with your friends with a beer and watch, like you just like laugh about everything. And a lot of situations when you walk in the dark, you only have one flashlight because you didn't have money for 2, and your friend with you. And you walk first with a flashlight and you talk to them, like you chat, and then you ask something, and then silence. You turn back and no one is there.
Why? Like
because some spider took him and brought him, and he was trying to scream, but you didn't hear, like things like this. And monsters in this game, they don't follow some like a story or lore. Instead, they just pick a really famous current, scary stories, like modern internet scary stories, like SCP project for monsters, like monsters that goes to you only when no one look at this monster, scary girl, like spiders, some leeches that jump to your head, and there's no weapons. Like when you can get a shovel and try to kill spider with shovel, and that's it. It's really extremely fun. Like the runs are quick, you try not to die. And if you didn't fill quota in 3 days, a company just throw out your into space. And it's really good. They have like nice mechanic with radios, so you have walkie-talkie to talk to people, and it's also like really nice. So one person can be inside ship, like looking at radar and see like where are monsters, and other people working around.
And remind me, what the goal? Like what? Yeah.
So essentially, like every 3 days you get a new quota, and it's higher and higher. So you need to go to more like scary places, more dangerous places. And that's it. Like every 3 days you need to collect a bunch of garbage and sell it.
Got it. Interesting. We definitely should play together at least once and see how it goes. By the way, speaking of scary stuff, Alexander just drew us This is we. This is thank you, Alexander. But both of us using headphones. Oh yeah, both of us. I wonder
how he can be sure that we have legs.
Yeah, that's true, Alexander. How you can? Yeah, how do you know that we have both legs? Yes. Okay, before moving to the topic that I did about the games, anything else you want to add about Lethal Company? That feels like interesting.
I think we should just play because this game is like full of surprises, and when you hit like one new monster or situation, it's really hilarious.
And what are the platform that they supported? I still have no idea how to check it.
Essentially, I play on MacBook using Whiskey. It works fine.
Got it. And this is first person, right?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
And it costs $10.
That's
really small amount for such a good game.
I must say that if I would just see these videos and pictures, I would just close it and move.
That's what I did like months ago. But apparently there is a new trend in gaming. New gamers. Like I was growing with a game dev, right? And I've seen how games go from bad graphics to like AAA, super graphics, super plus. But new players, they don't look like super AAA open world crazy. They just want fun with friends. And this game just picks this essence. Okay, you have fun with friends. Like you don't care about graphics, about plot. You just want to have fun and laugh. And that's a really good strategy for games.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That makes tons of the sense. Okay, let's move to one of my favorite games. I haven't finished it even once, but nevertheless, I haven't finished almost anything, is Control. And Remedy universe that is connected in between games is so amazing, that the games are so deep that I keep learning more and more and more things about these games. And do you remember, if you're playing Control, you probably don't, I definitely did not remember that, but there is a section in the Control game with the name Dead Letters.
I remember a section.
So this is a section where effectively the bureau have bootstrapped the group of people that were hosting the show, hosting the radio, where it's like a cheap show about some unnatural thing, so anyone can call and report some strange activity, so to speak. And 99% of callers or people who would be sending the letters that would be sending them bullshit, but that 1% is the reason why they bootstrap all this. And inside of that section, you actually have an archive of the letters that you can go and read. And
no, I don't remember about archive.
I didn't know either. I found this and when I time to time when I have spare time researching the game, just reading the wiki and stuff like that. And so the archive actually have letters, actually have radio show records that you can listen, you can read, and majority of the letters is bullshit. It's statistically should be more bullshit than the reality. You're skimming through the bullshit, and interestingly, some of the majority of the bullshit they try to take from the real world cases where there was one letter where someone was sleeping, and in his sleep the god, quote unquote, told the person to build a body for the god, and it told the person that when the person would build a body, that the god would start living in that body. And he built a body from the refrigerator and stuff like that. But that's actually the real case that documented, and they created a letter out of it, which was fun. But here is the catch, very, very interesting catch. So you open one of the letters, you start reading it, and it's from the woman. And the woman says that, like 2 weeks ago, my husband got hit by a car, like in an accident. He's died, and my husband actually believed that we all live in simulation. Like that was a bullshit, but I came to believe in that. And slowly, word by word, you're realizing that that woman have realized that she's part of the game. And she understands that someone manipulated it, and she's writing the letter to you. as a gamer with the hope that you can do something about it. And you realizing it in the middle of reading, like half a letter, you're like, yeah, she's speaking about simulation. At the beginning, like, okay, she's thinking she's simulation, it's a funny joke. But at some point, you're realizing that she's talking literally to you. It's so amazing.
It's really cool when games break a fourth wall like this. Or fifth wall, I always forget which one.
Fourth wall, yes. Okay. Yes, this... it was just, I don't know. This is such a deep thing. And when you're just realizing it's like, whoa. So I wanted to share that moment with the listeners. Now we also have a spoilers for the section.
It's not a new game. So.
That's true. It was released in 2009. Wait, 2019. That's not that old, actually. That's not just 4 years ago. 4 years old. Yeah. It's honestly, I thought that is older.
It's 5 already.
5. Yeah, you're right. Okay. 5 years. Okay, it's decent. It's decent. Okay, I have 2 things that I want to mention. One is Starlink actually coming for the phones. And this is just crazy to me. So it turns out that modern equipment that can talk to 5G can talk to satellites.
But they mentioned not 5G, they mentioned LTE, so it's even 4G.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, 4G. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, I was surprised because I never hear about this, but apparently they're already doing for a couple of years, like a pilot launches. For people who listen to us, the idea is that your cell phone, like regular cell phone you have with 4G, with LTE, can talk not via cell towers, but instead from satellites. And apparently they already have experiments and it works.
Now, first of all, this is explained why iPhone have not been increased in price 2 times and can talk to satellites, because turns out this is the thing. And I remember we discussed like how come it should cost like a fortune. But yeah, it's also possible to have an operator like that.
It's interesting because iPhone did like opposite, right? They actually embedded satellite antenna, I think, in the last one.
I think you might be right. How iPhone talks to satellite. I think. Oh, satellite. Yes. I think you're probably right. I honestly.
It's because they have like a antenna on the side. Even like physically, you can see it.
Wait. What do you mean physically you can see it?
There's like, it's on the side of iPhone, there is a section where it's like a cut for this antenna.
Okay. Ooh, I didn't know that this is for antenna. Like I was figuring out why.
They only use it like for SOS, like emergency situations.
That is for now. Like my prediction that at some point you will be buying iPhone and they will be giving you a plan together with it. Like 100%.
What's strange, like not strange, but now apparently what SpaceX doing, they're doing the opposite, right? They try to retrofit using LTE technology to cover a much broader market. And mostly interesting, regulations, because when you like create a phone with satellite in some countries, you need regulations like to choose bands and so on. But with LTE, it means like people in the countries where like hard laws or something, they still can connect to these satellites.
I really wonder why, why the Apple have not used that, and what is the reason? Because it feels
maybe it was actually really, or it is actually really hard to do. I don't know, on the frequencies.
Yeah, it's really weird. Either hard to do or reliability, because again, for source feature, probably one of the things that you want to achieve is reliable connection with your satellite. And I wonder how reliable the connection that Elon Musk is trying to establish with satellite is. I don't know.
Yeah, it also could be the case.
Anyway, that's an interesting. I need to dive more. I honestly have not seen.
Actually, I think I have an answer to this. Like, Musk has actually like team to develop satellites, right? With a new technology, completely different like setup. But Apple didn't create their satellites. They use whatever is there. And whatever is there requires different antenna and different frequency. Probably that was the case.
Wait a second. You're saying Apple
is not in the business of building satellites, and so it will take them years to develop this. And they just use whatever is there on the market, like companies that provide satellite connection.
I see. That makes sense. So let me just repeat back what your assumption is, which sounds totally reasonable to me, that SpaceX actually developed from scratch own protocol that is backward compatible with 4G, and they deploy the satellites, while Apple has to buy something off the shelf, and that's what they did.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and I just try to ask Chat GPT, and says that this feature relies on network of satellites operated by third-party providers. Maybe actually, here is another idea. Maybe it's about a little bit different thing. So SpaceX might have satellites that support this in only few locations. So here's the trade-off. You either can have to rent satellites with some old protocols, or you have to deploy the new one. So Apple might have a coverage. That's why they proceed with old technology, while SpaceX might have a better backward compatibility.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Apple would take a while for Apple to deploy, because they don't develop satellites. They either need to build this competence in their company. It will take them like decades, or they need to find someone who can deploy many satellites compatible.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say maybe they have utilized some of the satellites that are already there. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they did. That's what happened, right? Like they hired someone who already have satellites and work right away. They just need to put antenna in the phone, and they really proficient in this one.
Okay, in this case, back to square one. Why the iPhone have not doubled in the cost?
Because you can't call your friends with this, only SOS.
And to be fair, I don't think it's a problem with antenna or a transmitter. I think it's just bandwidth problem. Like it just costs a lot, and at this point, Apple is eating the cost. I don't think let's assume the cost is not the problem with the bandwidth, they would just open it for like.
Yeah, maybe they're already in the process of discussing with third parties for other third parties to become essentially providers, so people can buy bundles.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that, again, 5 years from now, you're coming to the Apple, they're giving you an iPhone and saying it costs 2 times cheaper. You just need to sign up. Sign here, please, and here is your phone number, and here you go. It works through our satellites. Okay, looking on the podcast topic list, I don't think... Oh, yes, there was one more. Okay, one more thing that I want to mention. So there was a huge... And this is moving out, actually. Before moving out, do you want to add anything about this specific angle?
Nope.
Okay, then let's go to BTC ETF. Have you heard about this drama for the last week?
It's someone hacked some government entity that announced that there's something good with... I don't remember details, but it looks like a standard fraud, like to pump BTC. Can you tell me about this?
Yes, so there is this notion of ETF funds. ETF funds is effectively the funds that government allow companies to have, where you're creating a fund, and this fund's sole purpose is to buy something. In this case, for example, Bitcoin. So then you can invest in the company whose shares are trading on the normal market, and these shares has a price directly matched to the price of entity that they're buying under the hood. So I'm not saying matched in the sense that one share equal to one Bitcoin. I'm saying that if Bitcoin will double, the price of their shares will double as well. So this gives you opportunity to invest through that classical market means. And Bitcoin ETF has been requested since, I think, Q4. It was a long-lasting epic of the company was trying to convince government of US that ETF should be approved. Now, spoiler alert, they were approved. Now, everyone knew that they're going to be approved around January 10th. That was a big deal, and a lot of people, there was many folks who were thinking that Bitcoin will go up. They bought Bitcoin. A lot of folks that were thinking will go down. They actually were thinking to buy puts on the ETF the moment ETF is out. And there was people who were buying both just in case, And I think day before the January 10th, someone have hacked official Twitter account, X account of SEC, which is a government body that actually should approve or not, and published the message that we approved it. That moment, the Bitcoin price skyrocketed for 5 or 10% immediately up. And it took the committee members actually quite some time to regain access. So they start posting from their Twitter account that this is a bullshit, we have not been hacked. Then because they have not removed the message, they didn't have access to the account, both messages were there. Message from official government body, we have approved it. Message from the committee members, we have not. The people start questioning, okay, which one was hacked? The government body or the guy that's saying that we hacked and we have not approved? Honestly, it lasted for an hour or two. And after hour two, the Bitcoin price went down for minus 5% where it was before it skyrocketed because
someone get a good income that day.
Man, that is for sure 100%. Obviously now API is searching for that person or group or whatever.
What is the result? Are they now approved? Can someone create ETFs?
Yes, it's not only create. There is at least several thousands of ETF already. They got listed on January 9th and they started trading in January 10th.
Okay, so think about this, right? When you buy ETF,
yep.
It's a normal, boring company, right? It has an office probably somewhere
yep.
in US, people responsible. And it's not really easy to steal money from ETF. If you think about ETF asset, essentially they just go to some, how it's called, NASDAQ or whatever, right? They buy other assets and store in their accounts via some brokerage, right? So obviously some hacker can hack their system and move some stocks from them but they can claim it, right? They can say, hey, we were hacked and standard procedures and broker maybe stop selling and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Plus all this kind of mechanism on top of it to prevent frauds, right? Probably there is a system on a, I keep forgetting word for NASDAQ and you see what's
the stock market or
right?
Mm-hmm.
On the stock market mechanism, okay, if this ETF was buying 10,000 every day and now it's million, maybe something is wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with Bitcoin, it's very different, right? There somewhere on this ETF, someone has a private keys. I'm pretty sure they encrypted, stored by a couple of keys, right? But there are private keys. And if this private keys is stolen, all money from ETF could gone immediately. There is no mechanism to retrieve it. There's no mechanism to punish whoever stole it. My question, how soon we will see this? How soon we will see first ETF losing all its money because keys were stolen?
Yeah, it's to some extent good point, but there is several things that I want to mention. Bitcoin ETF currently has been categorized as the most risky investment because ETF is a part of the normal market. So if you, for example, have an access account on Fidelity and you try to buy a Bitcoin ETF, it will force you to go to special settings where you will change your account type for speculative. I'm okay to lose everything. And then
it's very different between risky because, you're buying a company which can strike or shut down, right? Or stock options or something. But this is it's very prone to bad actors. It's very prone to stealing.
I actually see your point, but in nature, I don't see it differently from here is a company that promised to build the next generation transportation system and it's issuing its own bonds like a Hyperloop, for example, that just went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Maybe they do something. Maybe they have only a chair in an office that will change. That will stop working tomorrow. You really have no clue, but you can buy their bonds and invest.
But for companies, you have audits and other things, right? And someone can be responsible and so on. There is at least some physical activity. But yeah, we'll see. It would be interesting. I still think like not your case, not your money. So
that's true, but with the companies, coming back to the companies, it's not just necessarily the case. What I mean by that if you're issuing bond, it's absolutely legal. If I will issue bond and I will tell you that I want to build a new railways, I don't have to prove anything to neither government nor you of what the likelihood to me actually building railways. As long as you believe me that I was, yeah, sure, I need to try. That is there. I need to try. But like need to try is very vague.
Yeah, I understand this one. I think its analogy would be rather I'm building railway in Antarctica and ice is moving and railway can go down or something like this, right? Maybe it's like a wrong, but essentially it's like not ETF fund acting bad, right? They tried to do their best, but they fucked up once someone stole keys and money are gone. I'm curious what actually SEC, do they create a new requirements for such ETFs? Like how do you store keys, how you operate? That what something would be interesting to see.
So far, at least, I'm not aware about that. I don't think they are. Maybe, but I haven't heard about it.
I can imagine like really interesting mechanism, like crypto secure and like how people share keys, how like multiple people need access to them. Because to buy Bitcoin to like some account, you don't really need private key, right? But how it would be implemented, I'm really curious to see what people came up with. Maybe they just like have a notepad in a main office, in a metal safe.
That's true. That's true. I see the point 100%. I still don't see the big of the difference with, for example, again, coming back with I'm issuing the bonds. Someone steal my checkbooks, write a check and sends money to some developing country bank's account. They're gone. The fact that instead of the private key, they wrote down my routing number and account number and my name as an executive person in the bank, is it like really different? And there is no requirement for me to protect check accounts that has access to your money that you gave me through the bonds.
But even with the money movements, right? Like you move, I don't know how easy to move your money somewhere so you can't retrieve it and bank can stop it. Maybe there's a way for companies to do that, but I don't know.
Oh, I see a point. Like, yeah, there is a slightly higher likelihood if you're proactive to retrieve your money. But again, if it was cashed out somewhere in Africa, like nothing you can do. That moment, like that's it. They're just gone.
Okay, imagine even better. Like ETF fund lost its private keys due to data outage. It's not stolen. It's
just lost. Yes.
So technically, if no one withdraw money, ETF still works, right? Like, money is there, like you still have your shares. You can sell your shares to other people. Yes. And they can buy it and you're all happy because ETF still value because it has a lot of Bitcoins. They're not stolen.
Man, here is an interesting question, a mental experiment. How long they can keep going without actually telling that they lost the private key?
Well, when US government decided that dollar is not equal to gold, 60
years after? So wait a second, I'm not following how it's relevant.
So United States dollar was attached to gold, right?
No, that's already I know how it's relevant.
They canceled. Uh-huh. So now dollar is just, like we essentially have ETF that has a paper and we just exchange this paper for goods and we're happy with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, next time I should tell about the story about Going Infinite. It's an amazing book. I know that we're out of time, but I probably will just add it because it's about Sam Beckham or whatever his last name, about the crypto exchange FTX that went under and how they lost many of the private keys along the way. And amazing book, highly recommend. But we will talk more next time. We are exactly at 1 hour, my friend. Let's stop here. Anything else you want to add in the last?
No, I'm good.
Okay, now I just need to find the window where to click stop after I... Okay, I found it. Okay, thank you, folks. We will talk to you as usually next week. We are finally back in 2024. This is our first episode of 2024, but we are back. So next week, same time, same place. Thank you. See you, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, done with recording. Just give me a sec. I will stop live. The question, am I in a poncho? No, this is not a poncho. This is like, I have no clue what is this, but not a poncho. It's something else. With that, thank you. Oh, we have the first time I see someone gave us thumbs down. First time. We will find you, whoever you are. Where is a button to stop? Jesus, I cannot find the button to stop live.
That's where you need LLM to ask.
Not literally, no button. Oh my God. I might have to kill it, but if I will kill it... they update the UI somehow, I guess.
It's me trying to cancel my car insurance.
Okay. End the broadcast. See you, folks.